All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. So there will be a lot more drama around Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's fight with some news that came out or referred to as breaking news that had come out regarding what happened in the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. And before I get into it, I want to say thank you to everybody that supports the channel on the live stream that we do Monday through Friday and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday. Thank you to everybody that subscribes to the channel and everybody that's a member of the channel and supports the Patreon. So this video is not going to be fun to do because it's a sad thing in boxing. And this is what I believe. This is what's sad. Deontay Wilder. This is a rumor that Deontay Wilder is saying, believes, and has proof that some things happened in the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury fight that were not legal. Now, according to this rumor that is yet to be verified, and I want to say this very carefully, a rumor that has not been verified. Now, I do believe that there's been some initial conversations with Deontay Wilder that would lead people that are close to him to believe that there's some truth to it. But until it actually comes from Deontay Wilder's mouth, I'm going to take it like that it is a rumor and that it's something that, that's being looked into, for lack of better words, right? So why is this sad? It's sad because, number one, if what Deontay Wilder is saying, or if what is rumored to have come from Deontay Wilder is true, I'm not surprised. And secondly, that's one reason that I think it's sad, is because I wouldn't be surprised. And number two, because it's sad because very few people outside of American black fight fan community is even going to take it seriously. They're going to believe no matter what happens that it is an excuse making from Deontay Wilder and that Deontay Wilder, that it's just no truth to it whatsoever. And on face value are going to, just on GP, are going to take it into a little ball and throw it in the trash can without ever considering whether or not it could be true. And I think that is a truly sad situation in boxing, especially when we know that there is so much cheating going on in boxing. And boxing is a sport that historically there's been a lot of underhanded type of things that go on in fights and make fights turn out different ways, regardless of what the skill level of the fighter is. So let me be direct. This is what the rumor is that Tyson Fury's camp had approached somebody from Deontay Wilder's and convinced them, I don't know what they convinced them with, to put something in Deontay Wilder's water. And that is why Deontay Wilder was feeling groggy in his fight and feeling as if he really couldn't get his bearings straight, right? And then there was something else, and had something that had come out earlier, that Deontay Wilder, this is the rumor, they've not heard this from Deontay Wilder, so hold it against the people that make the rumor until you hear Deontay Wilder actually say it, that Deontay Wilder's injuries that he had sustained in that fight with Tyson Fury, the cut in his ear was not consistent with a punch, that it was consistent with a loaded glove or something that was hard being in the glove that would cause that type of scratch. Now, Deontay Wilder is somebody that is a fighter. He goes to the doctor probably after every fight to get checked out. He's had lumps. He's had injuries before. So the doctor to say that this is something different, this is not your usual swelling related to a punch, that this is something different, could definitely happen. So, but despite this, very few people are going to believe it, and what more than likely it's going to do is just be used to drag down Deontay Wilder further. Now, Now, let me tell you why I think that this is funny, because I'm not saying that I know that this is true or that I know that it's not true. The fact of the matter is, I don't know, because I have not spoken to the doctor. I have not seen the documentation that the rumored documentation that exists. I have not, if there's toxicology reports around Deontay Wilder that were taken after the fight and seen if there was something in the system, I haven't seen that. I don't know that that's true. So as a result, the only thing that I can say about it is that I don't know. Now, why would I pay? Now, remember what I said in the beginning of this is that if this was true, I wouldn't be surprised. And why wouldn't I be surprised? Because we're talking about Tyson Fury. Because we're talking about Tyson Fury, and because I know what I saw in the ring and what was said after the fact. It's been said by Evander Holyfield. It was said by Deontay Wilder right afterwards. It was said by a bunch of people around that looked at Deontay Wilder and was like, there's just something wrong with Deontay Wilder. He doesn't look like himself. And I also know this to be true, that the media ran with. There was conversations that Deontay Wilder was having with his team and wondering why did he feel the way that he felt, what was going on in the fight. And he said, I don't know. I didn't feel right. My legs weren't there. I don't know. Maybe it was that I walked in with the helmet. I don't know. So what he's doing was he was brainstorming over what could possibly make him feel as if his legs were gone. Some people who had looked at it and said, oh, he was doing too much stretching. He shouldn't have done all that stretching, right? And that took his legs away, or it could have been that he had more weight. But this is something that people saw in the fight that Deontay Wilder definitely did not look like himself. Evander Holyfield was like, he walked in with his hands down. He didn't have his hands up, which made him susceptible to getting hit with everything that was thrown. And the truth of the matter is, if you do put something in somebody's drink and their water and it affects their body, it could affect it in that particular way. But I don't know that that's the case until somebody puts forth some proof and says that that's the case. I also don't believe that it's not the case. If it is, I would say if it is, this is truly what's being Tyson Fury is truly being accused of this. I would say let the evidence be shown and judge based off the evidence. And if the evidence supports that, then do something about it. And it shouldn't be anything more difficult, anything different than that. It shouldn't be, well, Deontay Wilder's just making an excuse. This is just garbage. This is rubbish. Let me laugh it off and blow it off and insult him and insult anybody that believes it. No, what you do is you say, okay, if this is what he's being accused of, do some investigation. Say, okay, Deontay, if that's the case, let me see the toxicology reports, right? Because I assume that he would be able to go to the doctor right after and have blood drawn. And if he believes that somebody tanked something, put something in his thing, it would be in the toxicology report. Or if a guy on his team did it, then have his guy on his team admit that he did it and tell people, yeah, this is what happened. I was approached by somebody who represented himself as from Tyson Fury's team. They offered me some money. I slipped something into the drink. That's what it was. Now, his ass is probably going to go to jail for that. You know what I mean? He'd probably go to jail. So the chances of, because he did that knowing somebody was going to go into a life-threatening fight, and the people that were associated with it will probably go to jail, because if they were doping Deontay Wilder when he was going into the ring in a fight where he could lose his life, then there should be some serious ramifications for it. But I don't think anybody should even should. Now, personally, I can't discredit it and say that there's no way that it happened, because we're talking about, this is something that Tyson Fury has just been accused of by Martin Carefoot in the UK. Somebody essentially with different things, somebody from Tyson Fury's team reaching out to him, offering him some money so that he could provide some false testimony for Tyson Fury, and to explain why Tyson Fury had nandrolone in his system. So that is Tyson Fury's team reaching out for somebody to do something to help Tyson Fury get over. So that's, even though in this case you're asking somebody to put something in somebody's water, In that case, you're looking for somebody to provide false testimony. These are things that he's been accused. That's something he's been accused of in the past. Cheating, he served 2 years suspension for cheating. So the idea that Tyson Fury, because he's this upstanding guy, or that there could be somebody in his camp that is trying to get over, or maybe somebody that is not connected to Tyson Fury's camp that wanted to get over and put a bet on the fight or something like that and wanted to, poison Deontay Wilder or do whatever, however you phrase it, tamper with Deontay Wilder. Man, crazier things have happened. And in fact, I think it's kind of ironic because in the press conference, when Tyson Fury was sitting and getting interviewed after the fight, somebody offered him a bottle of water. And he looked at the bottle of water. He's like, no. Bring me my water. As in, I'm not taking any water that anybody gives me. Now, that is anecdotal evidence that he's concerned about taking water from somebody. But he's saying in that action that he's suspicious of people just giving him water. And he wants to make sure that he had water that was put aside, that was not tampered with, right? There's all kind of accusations of that type of stuff going on in sport. But importantly, you have Bob Arum dealing with the guy in the in the Saudi Arabia fight, this guy Hennigan, who's an Irish mobster. So you got Irish mobsters, you got a guy that has been suspended for performance enhancing drugs and tampering with tests. The idea that it's impossible that he would try to find a way to cheat in his biggest fight of his career, anyway, I could see it happening. But at the end of the day, hey, if that's the case, you got to come out with the proof. You got to go to the people. You got to go to the people that have jurisdiction over that issue, whether or not it is the police department in the state of Nevada, and say, hey, man, this is what this guy did to me in this evening, and here's the proof. And have the Las Vegas Police Department arrest the dude. And if it comes to that type of scenario where the police department arrests the guy and you have the proof, then it's almost impossible for anybody to say that it's not a real thing because somebody's actually facing criminal charges for it. Now, you would have to go find somebody in Las Vegas to find if that's a violation of law in Las Vegas, even though I'm pretty certain that it is. And that's the way you resolve it. But until we see that, it is what it is. We'll be seeing another Tyson Fury rematch, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder rematch. And a lot of this stuff is going to come out to the forefront during the lead up to that fight. Also, I understand that Deontay Wilder will eventually let the information out that he's talking about. And obviously this is old stuff because he said for a while he got rid of snakes out of his camp. Anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.